Did you know that high sugar levels can silently cloud your eyelids, leading to cataracts much earlier than expected? In this video, I'll explain how diabetes speeds up cataract formation, why your vision may be blurry after eating sugar, and what you can do to protect your eyes. We'll dive deeper into the issue, so if some parts seem unclear at first, don't worry, they'll all make sense by the end. The lens in your eye is like a natural camera lens, perfectly clear, flexible, and designed to focus light precisely and helps you see clearly. But unlike most parts of your body, your lens has no blood supply. So, from where does it get the energy from? As it doesn't have a blood supply, it relies on glucose from the surrounding fluid, the aqueous humor, to generate energy. Now, here is where things get interesting. About 90 to 95% of glucose that enters the lens follows a carefully controlled pathway. As a first step, it is quickly converted into something called glucose 6-phosphate by an enzyme called hexokinase. This hexokinase is one of the most important enzymes in the lens. Think of it like the gatekeeper of sugar in the lens. It ensures glucose is used efficiently for two major processes. One, glycolysis. About 80% of glucose is broken down to produce ATP, the energy needed to keep the lens healthy. And two, the pentose phosphate pathway. Around 10% of glucose goes into this pathway to generate NADPH. This NADPH protects the lens from oxidative stress and prevents protein damage. But what about the remaining 5 to 10% of glucose? This part takes an alternative route, the sorbitol pathway. A small portion of glucose is converted into sorbitol by aldose reductase and later into fructose. This process is normally slow, so it doesn't cause problems unless glucose levels get too high. Under normal conditions, your lens carefully regulates sugar, keeping itself clear and functioning. But what happens when sugar levels rise above normal? The moment your blood sugar spikes, whether it's from a sugary meal or chronic diabetes, the lens is flooded with excess glucose. And since hexokinase, the gatekeeper, is already saturated, this excess sugar has nowhere to go except through the alternate pathway, that is the sorbitol pathway. Here is the problem. Due to this diversion, sorbitol builds up inside the lens because it can't escape easily. This draws in water into the lens and causes it to swell and distort. This leads to temporary blurry vision. That is the reason why diabetics sometimes notice blurry vision after a sugar-heavy meal. And this is also the reason why you shouldn't get new glasses when your sugar levels are high. The power won't be accurate and might change later once the sugar levels come back to normal. Now, if sugar levels continue for months or years, things get worse. The persistent buildup of sorbitol damages lens proteins, causing them to clump together and lose transparency. This leads to cataracts, a condition where the lens becomes permanently cloudy, making vision dull and blurry. And it doesn't stop there. The osmotic stress from the excess sorbitol weakens the lens fiber cells, further speeding up cataract formation. Another major consequence of high sugars is oxidative stress. You might have heard about glutathione. Glutathione is one of the major antioxidants in the lens, and the lens depends on it to stay clear. But the sorbitol pathway drains excess NADPH, which is needed to maintain glutathione levels. Without enough glutathione, the lens loses its ability to fight oxidative damage. This causes protein cross-linking, meaning once flexible proteins turn stiff and clump together, making the cataracts even worse. And here is the final nail in the coffin: glycation. Over time, high sugar levels lead to formation of advanced glycation end products or AGEs. These AGEs permanently damage lens proteins, making them harder, less flexible, and completely opaque. At this stage, the damage is irreversible, meaning the only solution is cataract surgery. So, now that we know how high sugar levels can cloud your lens and lead to cataracts, the big question is, how can you protect your lens from sugar damage? The good news? There are simple science-backed steps you can take to slow down or even prevent the damage. Let's break them down. 1. Control blood sugar levels. The number one way to protect your lens is to keep your blood sugar in a healthy range. If your glucose levels stay stable, the hexokinase enzyme can handle it without excess sugar spilling into the sorbitol pathway. For diabetics, this means maintaining a HbA1c below 7% and avoiding frequent sugar spikes. 2. Eat antioxidant-rich foods to fight oxidative stress. Since oxidative stress is a key player in cataract formation, increasing your antioxidant intake is crucial. Foods rich in vitamin C, vitamin E and glutathione can help neutralize free radicals and protect lens proteins. Some of the best foods for lens health include leafy greens like spinach, citrus fruits like oranges, nuts and seeds for vitamin E, green tea and turmeric for added antioxidants. Making these foods a regular part of your diet can slow down lens aging and prevent cataracts. 3. Stay hydrated. Hydration is often overlooked, but it's one of the simplest ways to help your body regulate oxidation and glucose. Aim for at least 2 to 3 liters of water per day to keep your lens healthy. 4. Aldose reductase inhibitors, blocking the sorbitol pathway. Scientists are now looking into aldose reductase inhibitors, medications that block the enzyme that converts glucose into sorbitol. Early studies suggest that these drugs could slow down diabetic cataract formation, but they are still under research. In the meantime, some natural compounds like quercetin found in apples and onions and curcumin found in turmeric have been shown to have mild aldose reductase inhibiting effects, so try to include them in your diet. 5. Regular eye checkups. Even if your vision seems fine now, high sugar levels can cause gradual damage to your lens without obvious symptoms at first. That is why it is essential to get regular eye exams, especially if you have diabetes. Your eye doctor can detect early lens changes and recommend strategies to slow down cataract progression before it affects your daily life. So, to sum it up, keep your blood sugar in check, eat antioxidant-rich foods, staying hydrated, and getting regular eye exams are the best ways to protect your lens from sugar damage. Have you ever noticed blurry vision after eating sweets or a heavy meal? Let me know in the comments. And if you found the video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with someone who needs to hear this.